Chicago is not just a passionate and deep-rooted sports city. It is also an iconic movie location. So we're going to pay tribute to some classic Chicago movies, but we're going to do it Big Ten style, right? That's how we're rolling here on Big Noon Kickoff. First up, While You Were Sleeping, instead of Sandra Bullock, Bill Pullman, we've got the Oregon Duck, Goldie Gopher. Number 8, Oregon, hosted Minnesota last night. And there they are, keeping the love affair alive. Noah Whittingham keeps this one alive. Kind of coughed it up late, but they ruled it a touchdown once he crossed Oregon.
Wow. Secure that ball. Secure it.
That might have been the best run of the year.
School record, 90% completion rate in this one. Ducks, they host USC next Saturday. So, about last night, we start with Oregon, who took care of business last night. Does Oregon, Brady, need to win out to make the college football playoffs?
I think they do. I think if you look at last season too, BYU, Miami, 2 teams that finished the season with 2 losses that didn't win their conference, they got left out. And so I think when you look at the resume right now for this Oregon team, they've only beat 2 teams with winning records. And probably their best win is over Iowa, and their loss, when you look at that loss to Indiana, they got pushed around physically. So the next couple of weeks are big time for them. Yeah. Obviously USC next week, then at Washington. But I think in order to assure that you make it, you got to win out. You got to win convincingly.
Yep, agreed. All right, now we've got hoop dreams. All right, Indiana, traditional basketball power, but they've got some real title hopes in football. Coach, are you more encouraged or discouraged by Indiana's second win last week at struggling Penn State?
I'm actually a little discouraged, a little concerned. The friendly confines.
Wrigley Field, buddy.
I'm actually a little discouraged, Brady, because for the first time since the playoffs last year, they were exposed a little bit. The offensive line of Indiana was feeling a lot of pressure from Penn State. But like a lot of offenses, Indiana's not built to be a drop-back team. Of the 36 drop-backs last week, he was hit 18 times or pressured 18 times. And in the epic final drive, one of the greatest drives in Big Ten history, he was sacked once in the opening play. He was hit 6 times in that 2-minute drill. So a little concerned, not for the regular season, but when you get to the Big Ten championship and you get to the CFP, they're going to face some better D-lines than they saw against Penn State.
Coach, do you want to show those Michigan fans what's on your right hand there at all? Or that ring? Yeah? 7-0, baby. Hey, they're going to love this next segment. Now we've got the untouchables, which is how you might describe number 1 Ohio State so far this campaign. Matt, Buckeyes or the field for the Natty?
Wow. I think this year, the greatest thing about this year in college football is the parity. We've talked about it. So I do believe there's a handful of teams that can win it. Where we sit today, I would take Ohio State. I think they are the most dominant team in college football up until this point. They haven't trailed by a single point in the second half of any game this year. You can talk about them not being tested. They just handled their schedule. We know the offense with the receivers and Julian Say, but to me it's defense. Defense wins championships. Defense wins in December. It wins in January. This team has championship DNA. That's why I'm rolling with the Buckeyes. Wow. Sorry, guys.
You got booed a little bit there.
He got booed some.
That's fine.
Matt doesn't handle the booing as well as you do, Coach. You're a little more leathered with that. Can't talk Chicago Phelps without the Blues brothers. Look at them. They look good, don't they, with the shades? So, speaking of the boys in blue, Mark, how does Michigan beat Ohio State again in 2 weeks' time?
How does Michigan beat Ohio State again? They do the same they've been doing. They've been dominating in the trenches. Physicality in the run game. Physicality defensively. Coach, guess how much the Buckeyes have been outrushed by Michigan in the last 4 games?
Don't tell me.
486 rush yards.
Wow.
So it is paramount. You know what I'm saying? It is paramount for Michigan to be able to dominate the line of scrimmage. Jordan Marshall has been fantastic in the absence of Justice Haynes. Now, we don't know Justice Haynes' status yet, but Jordan Marshall has been shouldering the load for this team. Then defensively, they need to get healthy. The linebacker corps has been a little bit banged up, but the defensive line, 7 sacks in the last 2 games. And finally, Bryce Underwood. We see the talent. We see the ability. I doubt they want to go throw for throw with Julian Sam. So it is paramount for the formula for Michigan to beat Ohio State is a strong run game and defense like they have in the last 4 or 5 meetings.
14 days, 2 hours.
Not that anybody's counting, right? Not that anybody's counting. All right,